Tinubu has directed service chiefs and heads of security and intelligence agencies to crush perpetrators of oil theft, saying that his administration will not tolerate the menace. Tinubu also said under his administration, insecurity will not bring Nigeria to her knees, while other countries record achievements in key sectors of their economies. The president gave the directive in his maiden official meeting with service chiefs and intelligence heads, led by the Chief of Defense Staff, General Loki Rabo, at the presidential villa. The National Security Advisor, retired Major General Babangida Monguno, who addressed journalists after the meeting, revealed that the president has directed heads of security agencies to provide a purpose-made blueprint to tackle insecurity and maintain sanity nationwide. In the two-hour meeting, Monguno said the security heads men briefed Tinubu on the activities of their various security formations and for him to inform them about his expectations. President Bola Tinubu has said Nigeria is open for business and constructive partnership. The president spoke while hosting President Xi Jinping of China's Special Envoy Peng Kui-hua at the presidential villa Abuja. He promised that his administration will promote ease of doing business. Speaking to Peng, who is also the Vice Chairperson Standing Committee of National People's Congress, People's Republic of China, the president said both countries could learn from each other, stressing that though Nigeria will remain non-aligned. President Tinubu's spokesperson, Tunde Rahman, quoted him as saying Nigeria will continue to work to promote democracy in the West African sub-region. Following the controversial unveiling of the new national carrier, Nigeria Air, with the Ethiopian airline aircraft, the House of Representatives Committee on Aviation has summoned the Permanent Secretary Minister of Aviation, Dr. Emmanuel Meribol, to an emergency meeting over the problem. The committee, headed by Honorable Nonin Naji, directed Meribol to come along with every document, personnel connected with the national carrier. The report has it that the federal government had unveiled Nigeria Air to Nigeria, a development that created legal uproar nationwide. It was also gathered that Ethiopian Airlines had reprinted and rebranded one of its Boeing 737-800 aircraft, which cost Nigeria 139.3 billion naira for just the painting job. However, the permanent secretary was said to have requested for time to be able to assemble all the necessary documents and individuals connected with the project, consequent upon which the meeting was scheduled for Tuesday next week. Osho State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has declared his readiness to reposition the state-owned media outfit for effective service delivery with a view to making it compete with its peers across Nigeria and beyond. The governor stated this during his visit to the broadcasting station in Oshobo, assured that plans are underway to provide OSBC with modern equipment to enhance its transmission and make it a pride of all. Sahid Adebode has the details.
Welcome to the OSBC broadcast village Ile-Awiye Okebale Osogbo by the teaming staff of the corporation led by its permanent secretary Alhaji Rasheed Folaranmi. Governor Ademola Adeleke could not hide his joy as he acknowledged cheers of Imole that greeted him. The governor was conducted around the transmitters hall, generating set and TV studios in company with the special advisor on OSBC, Dr. Femi Adefila, and directors of the state-owned media outfit. Addressing workers of the establishment at the Open Forum Arena, Senator Ademola Adeleke assured that the welfare of the state workers will continue to be accorded a priority. He said that the days of joy of the 66 freelance staff of OSBC are near. The governor charged the management of OSBC to embrace private sector initiatives, increase internally generated revenue, and block all loopholes in its marketing and financing system. The governor also expressed his sadness on the station's equipment.
Everything is okay. Everything is fine. Because the government you have with them, serve. Everybody is served. Not immediately, because I'm not happy that the freelance will be here for 20-something years and everything is this time. But what I can assure you, I've been cracking my brain and see how we're going to work it out. But not too now, if you happen.
The special advisor on OSBC, Dr. Femi Adefila, commended the governor for the upgrade of the office of Director General of OSBC to a permanent secretary and the appointment of Mrs. Abimbola Abatunde, who was formerly the Director of News and Current Affairs Radio, to a permanent secretary. Dr. Adefila recalled that the Adeleke dynasty has history with the success of OSBC, as exemplified by late Governor Isiaka Adeleke, who established Osun State Television in 1992 and put the station on a sound foundation. He expressed optimism that Governor Adeleke will contribute meaningfully to making OSBC a signature of all eye again.
The governor is the governor that gets to the feet so that it has the first-hand information. That the governor is here deserves our appreciation.
Earlier, the governor had met the management of OSBC. The permanent secretary of OSBC, Alhaji Folaranmi, in his brief remarks, commended Governor Adeleke for the hand of friendship and empathy demonstrated towards OSBC. He informed the governor that OSBC was nominated among the best 8 stations, including private stations in the country, by the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria. For OSBC News, this is Said Adeboje reporting.
The administration of Senator Ademola Adeleke in Osun State is committed to promoting the growth and welfare of all civil servants in the state. In return for its magnanimity, it is equally important for the civil servant to reciprocate the gesture by being loyal and supportive of all the programs and policies and activities of the President's administration. The newly appointed Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Information and Public Enlightenment, Mrs. Abimbola Abatunde, made this known when she formally resumed office today. Addressing the management and staff of the ministry, Mrs. Babatunde expressed gratitude to the State Governor, Senator Ademola Adeleke, and other top government functionaries in the state for her appointment, while pledging a commitment to live up to the desired expectation in her new office. The new Permanent Secretary charged the entire staff of the ministry to be dedicated and efficient in their official responsibilities. Students and staff of Ifetedo campus of Osun State University, as well as residents of the ancient town of Ifetedo, received her sigh of relief as Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke's body to fill the road leading to the campus, which has been in a deplorable condition for years. The governor gave the pledge while speaking at the 3rd Distinguished Personality Lecture organized by the Faculty of Law. Governor's Office correspondent Abdulrahim Adekileku now completes the story. Addressing the gathering of legal luminaries drawn from the bar and the bench, as well as students of law of Osun State University, Governor Ademola Adeleke appreciated the guest lecturer, Justice Professor Mojid Owode, for doing justice to the topic, saying that the judiciary remains the last hope of the common man. Chairman of the occasion, Honorable Justice Kunle Adeigbe, in his opening remark, described the lecturer, Justice Professor Mojid Owode, as the first professor of law to go to the bench. Thanked Uni Osun for providing such a rare privilege to the next generation of lawyers, saying it will go a long way in widening the horizon of both students of law and all legal practitioners. Also speaking at the 3rd Distinguished Personality Lecture, the Vice Chancellor Uni Osun, Professor Clement Adeboye, while welcoming the governor, stated that the governor within 1 week in office approved the completion of a 2-story 57 office complex at the Health Faculty, which has been abandoned since 2011, saying that the building that has been completed is the first project donated to the university by the state government since 2011. He noted that the building is ready for commissioning, which will be performed by the governor next week. He appealed to Ifetedo, the host community, to be more accommodating as the university looks forward to increasing student population in the next academic session. In his lecture, the retired Justice of the Court of Appeal, Professor Mojid Owode, spoke on the finality of the Supreme Court of Nigeria withdraws its powers from the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Goodwill messages were delivered by the Olumosi of Ifetedo, representative of the Chief Judge of Osun State, among others. Of Honorable Ibuku Fadipe as the Executive Chairman of the State Universal Basic Education Board, SUBEB. This is contained in a statement signed by the Secretary to the State Government, Honorable Teslim Ibalaye. According to the release, the appointment takes immediate effect with optimism that Honorable Fadipe will bring to bear his wealth of experience to reposition and improve the education sector. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has promised to support the ambition of Honorable Tajudeen Abbas as the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. Governor Adeleke gave the promise when the federal lawmaker represented Zaria Federal Constituency, led members of the House of Representatives and representatives-elect to solicit support in respect of his ambition. Governor's Office correspondent Abdulrahim Adeklekun will bring you the details. In the course of the bulletin. Preparatory to the inauguration of the 8th Assembly in Osun State, the parliamentary complex is now a beehive of activity. OSBC parliamentary reporter Oluwatosin Oladokun noted the effort being put in place towards the successful inauguration of the incoming assembly, quoted the clerk of the House, Akinwale Amusan, saying that in a matter of 7 days, the 7th Assembly will wind down and giving room for the 8th Assembly in line with the provisions of the Nigerian Constitution. This report.
Ahead of Tuesday next week inauguration of the members of the 8th Assembly, staffers of the legislative arm of government had kickstart the activity lineup for the successful inauguration. The workers across the grade levels, led by the clerk of the House, Mr. Akinwale Amusan, were seen monitoring staff in cleaning and clearing the vicinity of the assembly complex. Areas including Assembly Library, Cafeteria, Health Center, and entrance gate of the Assembly Complex, as well as access road to the lawmaker quarters. While briefing the newsman clerk of the House, Mr. Akinwale Amusan appreciated members and headship of the 7 members ad hoc committee, which were constituted a few weeks ago, aimed at superintending and directing the affairs of the inauguration. He added that members and staff of the Assembly Complex are ready to receive the incoming lawmakers with an open hand of working with them in the bid of moving the state to an enviable height. The clerk of the House, however, sought for the cooperation and support of staffers, just as it enjoined them to prioritize good conduct and professionalism in line with the rules of the engagements.
You may be aware the era of 7th Assembly of Osun State, House of Assembly of Osun State, inaugurated in the year 2019, will come to an end this coming Monday, 5th of June. And the next assembly, the 8th Assembly of Osun, is coming in, God willing, by Tuesday, 6th day of June 2023. As a result of this, so we are making all necessary preparation so that we can have each free exchange of batons at the House of Assembly.
Oluwatosin Oladokun, OSBC News.
Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke has promised to support the ambition of Honorable Tajudeen Abbas as the next Speaker of the House of Representatives. Governor Adeleke gave this promise when the lawmaker representing Zaria Federal Constituency led members of the House of Representatives and its representatives-elect to solicit support in respect of his ambition. Governor's Office correspondent Abdulrahim Adeklekun has the details.
Honorable Tajudeen Abbas, a ranking member of the House of Representatives from Zaria Federal Constituency of Kaduna State, led other members and members-elect from all the political parties including APC, PDP and Labour Party to seek the support and blessing of Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke. The lawmaker, who was supported by members of the Green Chamber from Osun State, said the leadership of his party, the APC, has chosen him as the consensus candidate for the position. He therefore appealed to Governor Adeleke to use his position as the governor and the former lawmaker to support his ambition, promising that if he emerged, the House of Representatives under his leadership will reciprocate the gesture. Responding, Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke assured the visiting APC lawmaker that the PDP caucus will support him and urged Honorable Tajuddin Abbas to also respect and support the PDP zoning formula as regards the position of the minority in the House. He equally enjoined him to support Osun State government through legislation, grants and aids, among others, especially when the state will be needing the legislature's support on the airport projects.
The National Assembly management has given clearance of members of the Senate and House of Representatives for payment and collection of severance packages as the 9th Assembly winds down. The clerk of the House, Yahya Ben Zaria, made this known in a notice to members at the plenary. The 9th Assembly, which was inaugurated on June 11, 2018, is expected to wind down by the first week of June, but the 10th Assembly is briefed for inauguration on June 13, 2023. The Speaker of the House, Frederick Bajabiamila, now read out the clerk's notice to members on the floor. For the outgoing 9th Assembly, over 30 billion naira has been budgeted for severance and some unwelcome package for outgoing and incoming members and aids in the 2023 Appropriation Act. Under statutory transfers, the National Assembly and its affiliate bodies will spend a total of 194,839 naira plus this financial year, while the sum of 169 billion naira was proposed for the Federal Bicameral Legislature in the original bill. Meanwhile, several benefits to retired heads of government agencies and parastatals because the country 1 billion naira, while the entitlement of former presidents, heads of state and vice presidents, chief of general staff was allocated 2.3 billion naira. The senator representing Kano Central, Ibrahim Shekarau, was advised President Bola Tinubu on steps to take to reduce the cost of governance. He told the president to reduce the number of members in the Senate and House of Representatives. While speaking on a television program, Shekarau said Nigeria does not need both chambers under Tinubu. He agreed that democracy means getting as many involved as possible, but noted that the way it is going now, where the country is having almost 500 legislators nationwide, is too expensive. Our former Senate Chief Whip, Victor Yofo, has frowned against former governors going to the Senate after 2 terms in office. He believes they go there to rest and enjoy their wealth rather than actively make laws. Oyofo, who spoke in Abuja, said it has become obvious that politics is the quickest way to unearned wealth, noting that the situation was aided by a clause which allows governors to be immune from a closer examination. He observed that most of the governors, after they have given a heavy retirement pension for themselves, work their way to the National Assembly as senators. The Central Bank of Nigeria has debunked a claim that it has devalued the naira. A statement signed by the acting director of corporate communication, Isa Adumun, said the dollar traded at 465 naira per dollar, contrary to report. Also, a single tweet by the official Twitter handle of the CBN indicated that the Apex Bank did not devalue the naira. Now, welcome to our sports segment. You're welcome back. Nigeria eliminated host nation Argentina as goals for Ibrahim Mohammed. And Rilwano Aliru Sarki sent 6-time champions out of FIFA World Cup at the round of 16. The Flying Eagles pulled out every trick in the book to defend its members and then scored 2 goals in quick counter-attacks that are the Albastel, South 20, who had won all their 3 matches in the group phase, cracked out of the tournament. And now to foreign stories. Heavily armed soldiers have fired shot to disperse investors in the gold mining town of Obuasi in Ashanti region of Ghana amidst an army crackdown on miners whom government sees as illegal. Authorities arrested 7 illegal miners for exiting a shop belonging to one of the world's largest gold miners, Anglo Gold. Reports say hundreds of other miners were trapped underground, but it was unclear whether those still underground were unable to or reluctant to get out. Relatives said miners had been trapped for days without food or water as dozens who got out were arrested for operating illegally in the area. Sources told newsmen that those who were still underground could be heard screaming. Illicit mining is widespread and in a West African country where many in poor countries see it as a way of making a living. Since taking office in 2017, President Nana Akufo-Addo has promised to rid the country of galamsey, the name given by locals to illegal mining. And that ends the major report on Osbc TV. It was edited by Kayode Adebayo. Babatunde Bolatito is mining. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.